Today we have a 2025 BMW M8 Competition Gran Coupe. In this video, I'll tell you why I think this is one of the best, if not the best, four doors offered by BMW. Obviously, what it is from a technical standpoint, how I feel about the interior space, and what it's like to drive it on our favorite back roads. So let's get started. So the BMW M8 Gran Coupe represents a segment of cars that very few can afford. It's a niche product with a starting price of $140,000, and as tested, we're looking at $171,000. So what is so special about this thing? Well, it's the highest performance, most hardcore variant of the 8 Series, and it has to serve that dual purpose, be a comfortable daily and a track weapon that you can take to a racetrack on a weekend. If we compare it to the regular 8 Series, it has revised chassis, steering and powertrain, so let's talk about what this thing is from a technical standpoint. The M8 sits on a good old CLAR platform, and it features a double wishbone front suspension and a multi-link setup in the back, combined with adaptive dampers which use the data from body movement, road surface and steering input to adjust each damper individually. We get 6-piston front calipers, floating single piston in the back, and we can obviously upgrade to carbon ceramics for $8,500, and that's what our tester has. Under the hood, we can find the S63 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, which delivers 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. It's obviously an M-specific motor with a twin-scroll turbo positioned between the V of the engine block for better thermal efficiency and response, upgraded cooling, and oil supply. And I can already tell you, this thing is insanely fast and does 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. All models features an 8-speed automatic transmission provided by ZF and xDrive, which by default is a rear-biased system, but we also have an option to disable the front axle and make the car wheel-wheel drive only if you want to go sideways. We also get an active locking diff, and what's interesting is that the M8 doesn't come with rear-wheel steering, unlike non-M models of the 8 Series, but that's good because we get a more natural-feeling car. Now, before we talk what it's like to drive it on our favorite back road, let's take a look inside and talk about the interior space. Okay, so we're inside the BMW M8 Gran Coupe. Now, the design clearly shows this car's age, and it's the most outdated thing about this car, but that's why I love it. Hear me out. This is BMW's previous generation design, which means it has all the stuff that I want in a car. Physical controls for the HVAC system and the infotainment, integrated gauge cluster into the dash, simple design which has aged well over the years, and the cherry on top are high-quality materials. Good mix of leather, aluminum, carbon fiber, and it all looks and feels really nice. Now, take a look at the new BMW 5 Series or 7 Series and tell me if I'm wrong. I know the technology isn't the latest and greatest. We're looking at an iDrive system that is 2 generations old, but it still works better than some of the crap that manufacturers put in new cars. It has a logical layout, you can control it either via a touchscreen or a controller, and you don't feel as distracted using it as you do in new BMW products. Now, the usability of this cabin is fine. This is a luxury GT, so it will not blow your mind with storage space, but the center console and door pockets are fine. The trunk, while it has a massive loading height, is pretty deep, and the backseat is actually pretty roomy and comfortable. It has sunshades, dedicated climate control, so everything your passengers will need on long journeys on autobahns. And you, as a driver, will enjoy being in this thing too. The seating position is great, you can sit low to the ground, and BMW M models have always had one of the best seats in the world. The ones here are no different. They're highly adjustable, provide great comfort and support, and that's exactly what you want in your GT. Overall, this is a really nice space with that previous generation feel, and it's just an awesome design. I don't know why BMW is going away from it, but anyways, let's head into our favorite back road and see how it drives. Oh yeah, boy! That S63. Okay, so we're behind the wheel of the BMW M8 Competition. No more regular M8, the only competition model is available, just like in the case of the X5M. We have 617 horsepower on board, 553 pound-feet of torque, and alleged 0 to 60 time in about 3 seconds. So, you know what? Let's just find a straight line and launch this thing to see how it is. First things first, let's put it into the M1 mode. Let's confirm limited DSC. We have to disable our DSC system. Okay, DSC is off. Let's just stop here. Obviously, as always, left foot on the brake, right foot all the way down, launch control active. This is pure insanity. That 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 has definitely more than 617 horsepower. I would say it has probably like 640 to the wheels and to the crank, I don't know, probably very high sixes, because the acceleration is purely insane. The responsiveness of this unit is also very impressive. It delivers power in a very linear fashion, all the way up to almost 7,000 RPM, which is almost unheard of in this day and age of turbocharged engines. The ZF 8-speed automatic transmission is a class of its own. We have 3 different modes that we can use it. 1, which is the most comfortable one, 2, a little bit more sharp, and 3, the most aggressive one. Oh Lord! There is a reason why I love BMWs, and it's not necessarily their design anymore, but it's powertrains they're produced. They make one of the better, if not the best, engines on the market, and this power plant that sits under the hood of the M8 is purely insane, and I love every single thing about it. No mild hybrid, no electrification, just a pure twin turbo V8 which delivers power incredibly well. Now let's talk about handling. As you go through corners, we can tell that the Active M differential, it's doing its magic in the background. The car very nicely rotates on throttle, rotates nicely under braking, and if we talk about braking, the carbon ceramics are also amazing. They give you plenty of confidence. You can slow this beast down without any issues, and the braking is really, really nice. I can nicely modulate the braking power, so that's really awesome. It's a very smooth and easy car to drive. The steering is quick and direct, but unfortunately it doesn't give us much feedback. That's typical modern BMW. I don't know, they've been using EPS racks for over a decade now, and they still didn't figure out how to tune it properly. Come on guys, it's possible. Now the X-Drive is a rear bias system, especially after putting it into the 4-wheel drive sport mode. More power gets sent to the rear axle, and again, super nicely rotates and gives you a little bit of that feeling of driving a rear biased car. I enjoy driving this thing more than I thought. You can obviously feel its weight. It's a heavy 4,400 pound 4-door coupe, but it puts a smile on my face more than I thought. It feels super nimble, and BMW M Division proved yet again that it make amazing driving, the ultimate driving machines. All right, let's disable the M1 mode. All right, and talk about what it's like to drive this thing on a daily basis. It's also a surprisingly comfortable cruiser. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a 4-door GT, which should serve that role of your comfortable daily, and then when you want, you take it to the racetrack or on Autobahn and do crazy speeds. The suspension is pretty compliant over road imperfections. The compression and rebound are great, so no complaints here. You can tell that we're driving a car that is a little bit stiffer. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an M8, but the ride is not punishing at all, and living with this thing is pretty cool. The cabin is also pretty well isolated, despite the fact that we have frameless doors, so that's also a good advantage of BMW's engineering. It shows that they really well designed those cars. They isolate you from the road and wind noise. Obviously, you know, as a driver, you may complain about it because you want to feel more connected to the car, but you know what? That's how I want to feel when I drive an M2, M3, M4. In the M8, I want this to be a luxury GT at first and sports car in a second place. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about this thing, so let's head into the final thoughts and summarize it. Okay, summing up the BMW M8 Competition Gran Coupe. I feel a little sad, and not because I cannot afford this thing, but because it's one of the last real BMWs. And I'm not necessarily talking about driving dynamics. Yes, it's super capable, handles like a dream, it's insanely fast, but it has that previous generation feel that I really love about BMWs. Very nice design inside and out, great quality materials, and not overly complicated electrified powertrain. If you have $150,000, $160,000 to spare and you really want to get a BMW, give it a shot. I still think that a Porsche Panamera GTS is going to be a little better, but we're talking about a Porsche here. Anyways, if you have any questions, drop a comment and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.